Millennials, they are the fastest growing generation in the workforce. In fact, many of them are starting up and running successful small businesses with the help of community banks. A recent study shows of all generations, millennials prefer locally owner-operated community banks. And joining us now to talk about that is the Gen Y guy, Jason Dorsey. Jason is also an acclaimed keynote speaker, best-selling author, and entrepreneur himself. Hello, what's up, Jason?
Hey, good morning. Glad to be here.
Great
Thanks for having me.
Well, let's talk about this. I know you found some intriguing things in a recent study on millennials. First of all, what's a millennial? And two, what did the study say?
What is a millennial right now? I am one. So millennials are people roughly ages 19 to 37. As you said, we're the fastest growing generation, not just in the workforce, but also in the marketplace. We're the most diverse generation in recent U.S. history. There's about 80 million of us. And we're literally up for grabs in terms of what marketers, banks, and others are trying to do with us as customers. We haven't established our loyalty yet. And what always gets my attention is, everybody thinks that we're broke and our pants are falling off and we still are in our childhood bedroom even though we're 28. But what we know is that millennials this year will spend over $1 trillion, and in 2017 will outspend baby boomers.
Wow.
So we're this tidal wave that's coming up, and as you pointed out, the study by the Independent Community Bankers of America, when they looked at these questions around entrepreneurship, for example, millennials, more than any other generation, said that they wanted to start their own business. In fact, as you said, 36% are actively working on that right now, which is a huge number. We also found in the research that 70% of millennials said they wanted more financial education. Well, that's a big deal because everybody thinks we don't care about money, we're always going to be in debt. But what we found is the exact opposite, that we care deeply about it, we just don't know where to go for help, which is why I think community banks in particular, which are very relationship driven, seems to be a natural fit. But we need people to come to us with some of those answers because we don't know who to go to.
Yeah.
So we saw that. We also found, I love this, that almost a quarter of all millennials carry less than $5 in cash with them every single day of the week. Right? Yep. We have no money. That's where we're like, Mom, can I have some cash?
It sounds about right, actually. Today, by the way, I found out I'm a millennial. I think millennials,
yes.
People in our age group, we've seen what happens when big banks become quote unquote too big to fail. Is it that we just don't think that a too big to fail bank should exist? Is that why we like family owned and smaller banks?
Well, I think there's a few different forces at work based on this research by ICBA, but also on our own research at the center. What we see is that locally owned, locally operated really is a natural fit for millennials. We want to go to that restaurant that serves locally grown food. We want to go to that local market or that local store. So there's a real big connection with locally owned, locally operated in general for millennials. We also see that since millennials want to own their own business, 60% of all small business loans made in America of $1 million or less are from community banks.
Wow.
So right there seems to be a natural fit. Yeah, 60%, right? I mean, you just don't think that, but it's so true. One of my favorites, I don't know if you saw this in the data, but it just cracks me up. We asked, who would you rather meet? The president of the locally owned bank that gave you the loan to finally start your dream business, or the President of the United States of America?
Wow.
And 60% of all Americans said they'd rather meet the President of the locally owned bank. Which just tells you how big of an issue this is. I mean, when we think about lending and access to capital and feeling that connection like we're valued. So for millennials on the whole, we're literally up for grabs, and whoever adapts to us now wins. But we're not just this group that everybody thinks. Like they think you and I shouldn't be working right now. We are both awake.
Jason,
we're dressed.
If we've learned anything with this data, Obama cannot catch a break.
That is absolutely true. But what we've also learned is that millennials, bring a lot to the table, and whoever adapts to us wins. And that you and I should be optimistic because with our desire to own our own business and desire to learn more about finances, all of this really creates a wonderful situation for us to add to the economy, create jobs, and frankly, be able to pay for the Social Security that our parents are really counting on us to make sure that they have.
No question. Jason, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us, my friend.
Hey, thank you so much.
All right, millennials, we're keeping the spirit of entrepreneurship alive in America. You're welcome. You want more information on the study conducted, you can just check out that website, icba.org. And now over to you.